so excited to actually talk Babylon 5 at Comic-Con. Congratulations on your Blu-ray announcement. You've got a lot of fantastic news coming out for the series, but we're excited first to celebrate the road home.
Yes.
So could you talk about just getting to re-explore this universe after so many years away from our fan favorites?
It's been a lot of fun. We did this show, it ended up in 2000, I think it was the last broadcast of the show, and we've been waiting for Warner Brothers to realize what they have. And finally someone did the math and said, oh wait, it's been 30 years since this show went on the air. So let's do a tribute to the fans, a celebration of the show, the characters, the universe. And they came to me and said, do you want to do this? And I said, absolutely, but let me check on something first. And as you know, we've lost about half of our cast in the course of the last number of years. So I sent an email to all the cast members who are still with us to say, look, we have an opportunity here to do something, I think, amazing. On the other hand, though, some of you may have to work with actors playing our fallen friends. And if anyone here isn't comfortable with that, just say so, we won't do it. And they all came back and said, no, we want to do this. We want to memorialize those performances, memorialize how they approach to the characters as a tribute to our fallen friends. And so once we had that taken care of, I launched into the show, and I've never left the B5 universe, or it has never left me, because to this day I still hear the characters in my head having conversations like, I'm trying to sleep, let's just go take it outside, you know? So it's a lot of fun to revisit that universe.
So I know with the original series, you laid the framework for the 5 seasons as your precursor. You had your plan. Did you take the same approach with the animated elements, or did you really plan just for this as a one-off special adventure with the hopes that we get to see more animated adventures in the future?
Yeah, I wanted it to be a one-off that was very clean. So the way it's structured is, if you're a fan of the show and you've seen every episode, you'll get a lot out of the movie. If you've never seen a frame of the film at all, you can follow the story, have a good time, enjoy all of it. Then if you then go back and watch the show, you come back, watch it again, you'll pick up on things you didn't see the first time. So it's made to service both goals.
As far as the characters, of course, bringing back the family members to play their respective characters, can you talk about the emotions of getting to hear their voices embodied in these characters once again?
It was just a blast. I was part of the recording sessions, and they put on these characters like putting on a pair of familiar shoes. You know, they were right there, and they had so much fun doing it. It's such a tragedy they can't be here today because of outside circumstances, because they put their hearts into this thing. But it was so much fun watching them each get back in the character, be that person again.
We completely understand the reasons why they're not here today and support their efforts, and hopefully that gets resolved soon. But we hope we have the opportunity to celebrate with them, and hopefully they know what this means to the fans as well.
Yeah, I support both the Guild Strike and the Screen Actors Guild Strike, particularly the Screen Actors Guild Strike, because writers can go home and write whatever we want to on a keyboard. Actor needs a stage, a microphone, a camera possibly. That makes them reliant on other people to a certain extent, and makes them more vulnerable. So I think as much as I want the writers to get a good deal, I'm more interested in seeing the actors get a good deal.
As far as the animation style, I know it was important to make sure these characters felt organic and comfortable. Can you talk about seeing the designs for the first time, or more importantly, why this animation style works so well to bring the characters back to life?
Because it's based on a TV show and the actors have very specific appearances, it made more sense to make this a very realistic form of animation, and not to be necessarily one for one with the actors, but to catch the idea of who they are visually. And when it came to the station and all the technology and the science of it, I said to the folks at Warner's Animation, don't feel you have to be precious about this. We did the best we could back in the 90s to make this thing work, but we have new technology now. Go and play, have fun. If you want to change things, as long as you keep the basic sensibility of it intact, I'm fine with that. If you go too far, I'll pull you back. But otherwise, have fun, because honestly, if you're not having fun at what you're doing in this business, why are you doing it?
I think it's also interesting, obviously you had access to early CGI when the series was being created. Now getting to have this animation style, it's very complementary to that process, but did it create any challenges for you as far as live action versus animation for these stories and these characters in particular?
Everyone's been asking about what the challenges were, and unfortunately there weren't any. It was such a joyful process from beginning to end. And the fun part with the animation was a lot of the guys who were working at Warner Brothers Animation grew up watching Babylon 5 and got into CGI because of the show. So now they were a chance to come full circle and work on the original show. So they just enjoyed the hell out of that part of the process.
Well, you've been such an advocate for the fans to be able to experience more time with these characters over the years, and especially on social media. So on behalf of those people, and myself included, thank you so much. I just recently did a binge of the entire series while I was on streaming, and the HD remasters look incredible. If those carry over for Blu-ray, it's going to be perfect. But we hope we get to see more Babylon 5 in whatever shape or form it takes. But thank you for shepherding this universe as long as you have.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
it.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more Babylon 5 coverage at Comics Online.